Check 1 2. So let's get right into it. So I don't hate to say I told you so. I told you so. I said in the previous post, I said America, the United States, the West, right, leads to Nazis and bussy, right? And people probably say, "Oh, you're being mean. That's not, you know, or you're being funny or something. You're a funny guy." No, I'm being serious, right? I mean, I'm just calling balls and strikes, right? It just, you know, this is what God put on my spirit to say, right? When I just looked at it, right? When I looked at the situation, put it in plain language, right? America leads to bussy and Nazis, plain and simple. You know what I mean? Just to put it in a simple language for stupid people that can't understand. Now, what do we have here, right? You said, why you say that? Transgender soldier from the U.S. named Ukrainian military spokesperson, right? Sarah Ashton Krillo was a journalist before she enlisted. So I'm assuming this was a man who became a woman and then became a journalist and then went to Ukraine and then went from being a journalist to then fighting with the Ukrainian forces and the military there, and then being made a spokesperson. You think all that's a coincidence? You think that's just a coincidence? It's probably like a transgender CIA agent or something, right? Or some type of shit like that. There's no coincidence that this individual, right, that this dude right here, right, went from being a man to a woman to a journalist in Ukraine to fighting with the Ukrainian soldiers, which I'm going to get to in a second, and then being spokesperson for the Ukrainian military. Wow. Nice career move, right? So let's see, what does it say here? The Armed Forces of Ukraine named a transgender soldier from the United States as one of its English-speaking spokespeople. Okay. Krillo has become one of the speakers for the Defense Forces. Deputy Defense Minister Mailer is one of those who praised Ashton Krillo. Okay, right on, right? Stunning and brave, right? Stunning and brave, right? Transgender. Interesting. Commentary on Ukraine's neo-Nazi problem, right? America leads to bussy and Nazis. I said it once, I say it again. I'm proven correct, right? As Ukraine struggle against Russia, let's read this story out of Reuters News. I don't want you to think I'm just making shit up and being mean. Like, oh, you're mean. Why are you? What do you mean? Bussy and Nazis. Commentary on Ukraine's neo-Nazi problem. So Ukraine has a neo-Nazi problem, and now they got a bussy problem and a neo-Nazi problem, right? You can't make this shit up. The president is the so-called ish man, right? He ish, right? So he ish, but they got a Nazi problem. Huh? How does that work? Right? You can't make this shit up. Ukraine's struggle against Russia and its proxies continues. Kiev must also contend with the growing problem with far-right vigilantes who are willing to use intimidation and violence to advance their agenda, right? 600 members in Kiev, the capital, 600 members of a so-called national militia Nazi group are formerly ultra-nationalists, what? That vows to use force to establish order, blah, 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 blah. Okay, a bunch of Nazis, right? Many of the national militia's members come from the Azov movement, Nazi battalions, right? AKA, right? Privately funded volunteer Nazi battalions, right? Azov uses Nazi symbolism and recruits Nazis into his ranks. Right? So here you go. Right? This is in the capital of Kiev. This is what Negroes in America support. This is what, Obama started under his presidency. Right? Good old Barack Obama. Right? First black president. He started all of this. Right? The Democrats in America. This is what they support. And by proxy, the Negroes in America. See, Negroes in America are going to burn up in America. Why? Because you support Nazis and pussy. And the Lord not dealing with that. You see? The Lord ain't dealing with Nazis and pussy. But you are. Right? You are the chief. You are a chief proponent of it. Right? You support the people that support this. Negroes can't get them to spit on them in America. But the Negroes support a political machine, right, that taxes them, takes their money, and sends it to Nazis in Ukraine by the tens of billions of dollars, and Nazis and Zio-Nazis in Israel to the tune of $15 billion a year. Well, they wouldn't piss on the Negro if he was on fire in America. But you support the Congressional Black Caucus, the Democrats, Obama, anybody, right? Anybody that come along. Cornel West, Mark Lamont Hill, right? While they send money to Nazis, right? That if they dropped your ass in the middle of them, they would chop you to pieces. Ninjas in America don't make sense. Ninjas in America gonna be destroyed in America. They 2/3. Why? Because they don't know what the hell's going on. They don't know if they coming or going. Let me give them a hint. You're going. You're not going to get old in America. This is it. Right? Final countdown. Right? To show you just how ridiculous you are. Now let's go into another story. Israel is arming Ukraine's neo-Nazi militias, the Azov Battalion. This is the Real News Network out of Baltimore City. Right? This is an article from 2018. Right? Why would Israelis be arming Nazis? Why would these so-called ish people be arming Nazis in Ukraine in 2018 before the war started? Can you figure that out? Is it getting clear to you? Can you connect the dots? This was in 2018 when this story came out. Israel is arming Ukraine's Nazi militias. I thought, but ish, so I thought you couldn't be ish and a Nazi at the same time. Well, it looks like you can be. You see? Right? So ish is arming Nazis. Huh. Why would that be? Why would they be doing something like that? I guess, birds of a feather flock together. Right? Zio-Nazis, neo-Nazis, Ameri-Nazis, you all gotta stick together when it come right down to it, right? You stupid ninjas. Ninjas are stupid. You see? See, but ninjas support what? Look at this story. Ninjas support being taxed and sending money to Zio-Nazis in Israel, and they support sending money to regular neo-Nazis in Ukraine. Not to mention the Nazis in America, like Joe Biden, who they can't stop loving on and voting for, who tried to put their asses in concentration camps. Them and their before they was born, probably most of the ones that listen now, maybe their grandparents and parents. Right? But you can't figure it out. See, America leads the Nazis and pussy. Right? Transgender soldier from U.S. named Ukrainian military spokesperson. America is going to be destroyed. Why? Because America leads to transgender pussy and Nazis. Whether it don't matter if they're in America, Ukraine, Israel, right? Here's the nation. The Western media is whitewashing the Azov Nazi battalions. of Ukraine. Before Russia invaded Ukraine, these fighters were Nazis. They still are. You don't say. Right? So, right? America leads the Nazis and pussy. Plain and simple. I said it once, I'll say it again. Right? And what that lead to? Destruction. You see? Why? The Most High not dealing with Nazis and pussy. You see? The Russians definitely ain't having it. The North Koreans, ain't no pussy and Nazis in North Korea. Ain't no, and who just was hanging out, right? North Korea and Russia just had a meeting, right? The North Koreans ain't dealing with ain't no pussy and no Nazis in North Korea or in Russia. Not like that anyway, right? They fighting against that kind of thing, you see? And they willing to take everybody to the gates of hell, you see? Heaven, the gates of hell, take your pick, right? To prove that they mean business, you see? They not gonna get gay married. They like, yeah, we not interested. That's for Negroes. That's for pussy boys in America, right? Who want to shine Nazi boots, right? They said they not having it, and I believe them. You see. So that's why Negroes gonna get destroyed in America, right? The Negro support Nazis, right? All kinds of Nazis and pussy, and then they'll look around and say, I wonder why things are so bad in the community. Because you out of your fucking mind. What do you mean? That's easy. Right? You don't know if you're coming or going. The people who's supposed to be your leadership, right, all support pussy and Nazis. And they don't support you, but you support them. And you don't wonder why your children won't listen to you. Why the people around you don't want to listen to you, don't want to talk to you. Because you're out of your fucking mind. And you ready to get burnt up in America. Right? You want to be down with pussy and Nazis, all kinds of Zion Nazis and Ukraine Nazis and American Nazis like Biden. Right? You want to be down with all kinds of Nazis. When the Most High not dealing with no Nazis. The universe is not dealing with Nazis and pussy. The universe is dealing with universal man and universal woman. You understand? The yin and the yang. The universe is not dealing with pussy. Pussy is not in the plan of the universe. You see? Pussy is in your plans. It's what you want for your children, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. You want to be Americanized and you want to be pussy and you want to be, bootlicking Nazis in America. But that ain't the plan for the future, right? So what's gonna happen is, you're gonna be burnt up in America. You're gonna be destroyed in America. You're already destroyed. This is your leadership, right? Your leadership is pussy and Nazis. And all you can say is, sign me up for more. Right? America, you follow behind these people. You listen to these people. Right? But you can't hear the voice of God. But you hear the voice of Joe Biden. You hear the voice of Obama speaking clearly to you Negroes. You hear the voice of Hillary Clinton and Trump or whoever, right? You can hear their voices clearly, but you can't clearly hear the voice of God. The small, quiet voice, right? That's about to be a thunderous boom in your ears. You can't hear that. You see? So the universe has to show you the path and show you the light. Right? Because you don't understand that America leads to pussy and Nazis. I mean, I posted another video. I think they took the video down, right? Where it was a bunch of bussy and a bunch of Nazis all protesting at each other, all together, arguing with each other, protesting. You can't make this shit up. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I'm not, you know, when I say that, I'm not being a dick. I'm just I'm just calling balls and strikes. Bussy and Nazis everywhere, right? All together. Now you got, this is the military. You can't make this shit up. You have to, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go, but you got a transgender bussy person, right? Some bussy transgender soldier from the U.S. somehow made it all the way to Ukraine, right? Working for the Ukrainian army, right? And then the Ukrainian army is a bunch of Nazis. You can't make this shit up. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get mad at me. I'm just calling balls and strikes. Right? Oh, you been a smart ass. Not really. I mean, kinda, but it is what it is. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't write these stories. I'm just reading them. I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just reading what's happening. You can't get mad and say, hey man, stop reading what's happening. Stick your head up your ass or down in a hole in the ground. Stop reading news stories. Right? So you got Bussy and Nazis all working together. And then you got the Jewish and Nazis working together. You can't make this shit up. That's why I say the devil is the author of confusion. This shit is extremely confusing. Right? It's extremely confusing. You got Ish, who's arming Nazis, and the spokesperson for the Nazis is a transgender from the United States. America and Ish and all that lead to Bussy and Nazis. Or Nazi Bussy. Whichever one you fancy. Right? And it's evident that, I'm going to say this and I'm going to go, but it's evident that that leads to destruction. Right? There's no way you could look at this amount of foolishness and weird bullshit and think, well, hey, this is the future of mankind. If you look at that and you think, well, this is my future, this is the leadership for the future, and this is, the tip of the spear for the future of mankind and America and all this shit, and you don't see that this shit is leading to destruction, you're just stupid. You deserve to be destroyed. You like that. You ever watch, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna go, but you ever watch like one of those nature shows where you have like the gazelles and they're running around, and you have some retarded, dumb, young gazelle, right, who keeps wandering off and then gets eaten by lions because he won't pay attention when they try to tell him to keep up with the group so that they can keep them safe. So he wanders off and gets destroyed. Right? If you're too stupid to see that this shit leads to Bussy and Nazis, then you deserve to be destroyed. You know what I mean? And you follow that shit, right? Then you deserve what you get. That's all I got, man. Shit is madness.